Have you ever felt like you're working hard every single day, yet somehow money still controls you? Like, no matter how much you earn, there's always that invisible pressure, bills, debts, wants, and the never-ending chase to keep up. What if I told you that the power you've been chasing all your life doesn't lie in how much money you have, but in how you understand it? Welcome to Your Money, Your Power, a journey that will completely transform how you look at wealth, work, and freedom. Because the truth is, money isn't just currency, it's energy. And the way you use it determines the kind of life you create. Most people spend their lives trading their time for money, without realizing that time is the most valuable thing they already own. You wake up early, commute to work, give away your hours and energy, only to earn something that slips away in bills and expenses. The real question isn't how much do I earn? It's what am I giving in exchange for it? The first step to financial freedom begins when you stop seeing money as paper and start seeing it as life energy. Every rupee you spend is a piece of your time, a part of your life that you can never get back. Once you truly understand this, your spending habits will change automatically. You'll stop buying things to impress others and start spending in alignment with your true values. The power of money is not in earning more, but in controlling how it flows. You can have a huge salary and still be broke if you don't understand the flow of your finances. But even with a modest income, you can build real wealth if you respect your money and give it direction. Every time you receive money, you hold in your hands the potential to create something greater: stability, freedom, growth, and even happiness. But to do that, you must build a relationship with money based on awareness, not fear. Start by tracking where every rupee goes. Awareness is power. When you know how much you earn, where it goes, and what truly adds value to your life, you start taking control. You no longer become a slave to money, you become its master. The real transformation begins when you align your money with your life's purpose. Ask yourself, what kind of life do I truly want? What makes me feel alive? Because money should support your dreams, not destroy them. It should give you time to live, not trap you in endless work. The idea is not to hoard wealth, but to design a life of balance, peace, and meaning. True financial independence is not about having millions in the bank. It's about reaching a point where money no longer dictates your choices. It's about waking up every day and knowing you can live your life on your own terms. To reach that stage, you must change your relationship with both money and desire. We live in a world that constantly sells us the idea that happiness can be bought: a new phone, a bigger house, a faster car. But once you get them, that feeling fades and you start wanting more. That's not growth, that's a trap. Real growth happens when you stop spending to fill emotional voids and start investing in what truly matters. Invest in your skills, your health, your peace of mind, and your freedom, because those are the assets that never lose value. When you begin to manage your money consciously, something magical happens. You start feeling in control of your life. You start making choices based on your goals, not your fears. Every decision becomes intentional. You realize that saving isn't about being stingy, it's about being powerful. It's about saying, I value my time, and I choose to keep a part of it for my future. Financial discipline isn't restriction, it's freedom in disguise. Because when you have control over your finances, you also gain control over your mind, your stress, and your future. But let's be real, the journey isn't easy. It takes patience, awareness, and a shift in mindset. You'll have moments of doubt and temptation. You'll feel the urge to fall back into old habits. But remember, every time you choose awareness over impulse, you grow stronger. Every time you save instead of splurge, you're building a bridge toward freedom. Every small step counts. Over time, these steps compound into something life-changing: financial confidence. The kind that lets you sleep peacefully, knowing that you are in control. Your money, your power isn't just a phrase, it's a mindset. It's about taking your energy back from the system that teaches you to work endlessly without asking why. It's about breaking free from that silent fear of not having enough. Because once you understand money deeply, you realize you already have enough. You just need to use it wisely. You can live well, save smart, and still enjoy your life today. The secret lies in balance, balancing today's happiness with tomorrow's security. So as you move forward from this moment, remember this: every rupee you earn, spend, or save represents your power. Use it intentionally. Build a life that reflects who you truly are. Because in the end, wealth isn't measured by how much you have. It's measured by how freely you live. And that's the real power of money. Not in owning things, but in owning your life.
There comes a moment in everyone's life when they pause and ask themselves, what am I really working for? You might tell yourself it's for a better life, for your family, or for your dreams. But somewhere along the way, most people forget what that better life even means. They get caught in the loop of earning and spending, like running endlessly on a treadmill that goes nowhere. That's the silent trap of modern living. You think you're chasing success, but in reality, success is chasing you, and it's tired of being ignored. The secret is to redefine success not by how much you make, but by how much peace and freedom you create through what you make. Money can either be your greatest ally or your biggest enemy, depending on how you treat it. If you see money as something to be feared, you'll always feel anxious, no matter how much you have. If you see it as something to worship, you'll always be enslaved by it. But if you see it as a tool, a simple instrument to build the life you desire, you gain real power. The power to choose, the power to walk away, the power to say no to things that don't serve your purpose. That's what financial freedom truly is. Not being rich enough to buy anything, but being wise enough to walk away from everything that doesn't align with who you are. It begins with one simple truth. Money reflects your mindset. The way you handle your finances reveals how you handle your life. If you're careless with money, you're likely careless with time, with relationships, and with opportunities. If you respect money, you start respecting yourself. You stop seeing money as something that defines your worth and start seeing it as something that magnifies your choices. Money doesn't change people, it exposes them. If you're generous, money makes you more generous. If you're greedy, it makes you greedier. So instead of chasing more, focus on becoming the kind of person who can handle more with wisdom. Every financial transformation starts with honesty. Sit with yourself and ask, where am I truly standing right now? What are my habits costing me? What am I spending on that doesn't add real value to my life? We often use spending as a way to escape emotions, boredom, sadness, loneliness, or even the fear of being left behind. But awareness breaks that pattern. When you start tracking your money with clarity, you start understanding your emotions better. You realize that most of your spending wasn't to improve life, it was to distract yourself from it. Once you face that truth, you no longer use money to fill emotional gaps. You use it to build emotional strength. The next stage is about designing your life consciously. Money is not separate from your lifestyle. It's the foundation that supports it. But if the foundation is weak, everything above it becomes unstable. That's why you need to decide, what kind of life are you actually building? Do you want a life that looks rich or a life that feels rich? Because there's a big difference between the two. The world is full of people who look successful on the outside, but are broken inside, stressed, indebted, and restless. Real wealth is quiet. It's in the calm of not needing to impress anyone. It's in the calm of not waking up with financial anxiety. It's in the peace of knowing you control your life, not the other way around. The path to that peace begins with discipline. Discipline may sound boring, but it's actually the ultimate form of self-respect. Every time you say no to unnecessary spending, every time you choose to save instead of splurge, you're telling yourself, my future matters. That one decision, repeated hundreds of times, becomes a shield that protects you. It gives you confidence to face uncertainty. When you have savings, you don't panic when things go wrong. You don't stay stuck in toxic jobs or relationships because of financial fear. You can walk away with your head held high. That's real power. Not the ability to buy more, but the ability to choose better. And when you reach that level of control, money stops being a source of stress and starts becoming a source of strength. You begin to see it as a partner, not a master. You use it to build memories instead of collecting materials. You use it to buy time to rest, time to learn, time to live. Because in the end, that's what we all crave, time. The tragedy is, most people spend their healthiest years trading time for money, only to spend their money later trying to buy back their health. That's the great irony of life. But you can break that cycle. You can start today by making one conscious decision to take back control of both your money and your time. Financial freedom doesn't mean quitting your job tomorrow. It means creating a plan where your income supports your values and goals. It's about shifting your focus from earning more to needing less, because the less you need, the freer you become. Imagine this: you live simply, without debt, with savings that support your needs, and the rest of your time goes into doing what fulfills you. That's wealth. That's balance. That's what your money, your power is really about. Alignment between your income, your values, and your peace of mind. The moment you start aligning your spending with what truly brings you joy, your entire energy changes. You stop chasing temporary highs from shopping or comparison. You start feeling gratitude. You start realizing how abundant your life already is. That shift in energy invites more abundance naturally, because gratitude is the seed of prosperity. The more grateful you are, the more value you attract, in work, in opportunities, and in people. That's how powerful your mindset is. Money follows clarity. When you know who you are, what you want, and where your energy is going, the world starts responding to you differently. Now, let's talk about something many people ignore: the emotional cost of money. Every financial decision carries an emotional consequence. When you overspend, it's not just your bank balance that suffers, it's your peace. When you live beyond your means, you carry the silent weight of guilt, shame, and anxiety. But when you live within your means, that peace returns. You feel light. You feel in control. It's not about being cheap. It's about being conscious. It's about saying, I refuse to let money dictate my emotions. As you move further in this journey, you'll notice something deeper. Money is no longer just a tool. It becomes a mirror. It reflects your self-worth. If you feel undeserving, you'll subconsciously push money away. You'll make excuses, procrastinate, or self-sabotage. But when you start believing you deserve abundance, you start taking actions that attract it. You negotiate better, you seek opportunities, you value your skills, and you stop settling for less. The world pays you what you believe you're worth, not in words, but in vibration. So, if you want more wealth, start by upgrading your self-belief. The real secret of financial independence is this: it's not about accumulating, it's about liberating. It's about freeing your mind from dependency, fear, and scarcity. When you stop living paycheck to paycheck, you stop living thought to thought. You start thinking clearly, creatively, and courageously. You begin to dream again. And those dreams no longer feel impossible because you now have the power to fund them. That's the beauty of money done right. It doesn't limit you, it expands you. As this journey continues, remember, the goal isn't to become rich, it's to become free. Freedom to live on your terms, to give when you want, to rest when you need, and to pursue what makes you come alive. Because wealth is not in numbers, it's in the quality of your life.
There's a point in life where you stop asking, how much money do I need? And start asking, how much freedom do I want? That's when your mindset begins to evolve. Money stops being a finish line and becomes a pathway. You realize that financial freedom is not built in one giant leap, but in countless, small, consistent steps. Every bill you pay, every rupee you save, every choice you make with awareness moves you closer to freedom. And the most beautiful part is that once you start walking this path consciously, you begin to enjoy it. You no longer feel trapped by money, you feel empowered by it. You stop working just to survive and start working to create. We live in a world that constantly teaches us to spend, but rarely to reflect. Everywhere you look, someone is telling you what to buy, what to wear, what to upgrade, but no one tells you how to build peace of mind. You can buy things, but you cannot buy calm. You can buy attention, but not respect. You can buy entertainment, but not fulfillment. When you understand that difference, you start living differently. You stop being reactive and start being intentional. You start realizing that every purchase is a vote for the kind of life you want to live. Imagine this. You wake up one morning and look around your home. Every single item there has meaning. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is excess. You feel light, free, and proud of every decision you've made. That's what conscious wealth feels like. It's not about how big your house is. It's about how peaceful your space feels. It's not about how expensive your car is. It's about how confidently you drive toward your dreams. When your money aligns with your values, life becomes smoother, quieter, and far more powerful. There's a deep connection between self-discipline and self-respect. The person who controls their money controls their mind. When you stop spending impulsively, you stop living impulsively. You begin to see the difference between need and desire, between comfort and distraction. The world will always tempt you to spend more, but every time you choose not to, you strengthen your inner foundation. You build a kind of invisible armor that protects you from pressure, comparison, and chaos. You become the calm in the storm. And that calm is what makes people look up to you. Not your bank balance, but your balance in life. But financial freedom is not just about saving, it's also about earning with purpose. The goal is not just to make money, but to make meaning. When you do work that you believe in, money flows naturally. Passion fuels consistency, and consistency builds wealth. Yet even when you earn from passion, you must remember, money is energy. If you manage it with care, it multiplies. If you ignore it, it disappears quietly. Treat your money like a trusted friend. Check in often, respect it, and guide it toward things that make your life better. Another truth people often miss is that wealth is built in silence. Real wealth doesn't shout, it whispers. The loudest people are often the most insecure about their finances, but the ones who quietly manage, save, and invest are the ones who end up free. Don't chase attention, chase stability. Don't buy luxury to impress others. Build assets that secure your future. Remember, the person who knows how to live simply will always be richer than the person who needs constant validation. There's a saying that goes, the poor work for money and the rich make money work for them. But what that really means is that the wealthy have learned to separate time from income. They invest in systems, ideas, and skills that generate returns even when they're not actively working. You can do the same no matter where you are. Start small, but start. Learn to invest not just in markets, but in yourself.
Every book you read, every skill you acquire, every healthy habit you build, all of it compounds. That's the real compounding power, the kind that no market crash can take away. Now let's talk about the emotional side of money. You see, most people don't have a money problem, they have a mindset problem. They think of money as something outside of them, when in reality, it's an extension of them. The way you feel about money determines how you treat it. If you constantly think, "I never have enough," your brain starts looking for evidence to prove it right. But if you start thinking, "Money flows easily to me because I create value," your energy changes and your actions follow. That's not magic, it's psychology. Your thoughts shape your behavior, and your behavior shapes your results. Fear of money is one of the most common but least discussed emotions. People fear losing it, fear not having enough, fear talking about it. But here's a secret. Fear loses its power when you face it. Start by confronting your numbers. Write them down. Track your expenses. Calculate your net worth no matter how small it seems. Because once you measure it, you can manage it. Ignoring money never helps. Awareness always does. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, what once scared you now becomes clear and manageable. Another powerful shift happens when you stop comparing your journey to others. Social media will show you people traveling, upgrading, celebrating, but it won't show you their debts, their anxiety, or their sleepless nights. Don't let someone else's highlight reel define your worth. Everyone's financial story is different. Focus on progress, not perfection. Celebrate small wins. Every debt repaid, every goal achieved, every month you stick to your plan. Those tiny victories build momentum, and soon you realize how far you've come. The essence of your money, your power is self-awareness. The more you understand your relationship with money, the more you can transform it. When you see money as a tool for freedom, you begin to use it differently. You spend consciously, you save intentionally, and you give generously. You stop asking, "Can I afford it?" and start asking, "Does it align with who I am?" That question changes everything. It creates a filter that guides your choices. It simplifies your decisions and strengthens your peace. Generosity is also a key part of financial power. Giving doesn't make you poorer, it makes you richer in ways money can't measure. When you give, whether it's time, knowledge, or kindness, you create flow. And flow is the opposite of fear. The more you give, the more open you become to receive. It's a cycle of abundance, one that goes beyond bank accounts. True wealth is not in accumulation, but in contribution. When you start using your money to make a difference, your life starts feeling deeply meaningful. And let's not forget, financial peace is emotional peace. When your finances are in order, your mind becomes lighter. You sleep better, think clearer, and act braver. You stop making desperate decisions and start making deliberate ones. You stop chasing instant gratification and start focusing on lasting satisfaction. That's the transformation this journey offers. From chaos to clarity, from survival to stability, from money controlling you to you controlling money. Money, in its truest form, is simply energy in motion. It goes where you direct it. It amplifies what you focus on. So ask yourself, what am I amplifying? Is it fear or confidence? Is it scarcity or abundance? Because that answer will shape not just your finances, but your entire destiny. When you begin living with that awareness, you'll realize something profound. Wealth was never about possessions, it was about perspective. The richest people in the world are not the ones who have the most, but the ones who need the least. They know that real luxury is waking up without worry. Real comfort is having time to do what you love. Real success is sleeping peacefully, knowing your choices align with your purpose.